Well, Tlawil, I need to talk to you about last night. I was moving you inside for the safety of the group.
But the group is fine.
And you're a medicine person. That's not up for you to
apologize.
decide. You're an apprentice. You're not a shaman. That's not up to you to decide what goes on in my
It's
group.
not up to you either.
Yes, it is. It's my church.
I know.
And that's why you gotta leave. I've been a lot of things in my life. I've been a bank robber and a prisoner, but being a shaman is my calling. Ayahuasca is a Schedule I narcotic, the same as heroin and LSD. But it's not a drug, it's medicine. And in my church, it's a sacrament. We can do in 2 days what conventional therapy may take years to do, but only if you are willing to step into the pain. You know, I catch a lot of heat on the internet, especially when I first started out. You know, plastic shaman, rah, 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 rah. But you know what? I forgive you, because each one of my enemies made me better. Every one of you who said I was a fake, I could kiss you, I could hug you. And the reason is I wouldn't be here if you hadn't have pissed me the fuck off. I am a broken path shaman. I don't have any line going back thousands of years. The spirits decided that they wanted to work with me, and they made an offer, and I accepted. My mandate from Mother Aya is to bring ayahuasca to the United States of America and to bring her totally into modern times.
I come from a very traditional background. My dad, he is a shaman. He's from Colombia. And I just want to represent my family, the traditions that I grew up in the best way I can. This apprenticeship has been very neutral to me, mostly because I feel like I'm already pretty connected to the medicine world, and I am not like Steve and I'm not like Teri. So I do feel like me being on this apprenticeship is simply to fill in the gaps that I feel like need to be filled.
A traditionalist is going to have a lot of rules you're going to have to follow. You're going to have to sit there and meditate. You're going to have to fast. You're going to have to do these things. We have no dogma. We are modern shamans, working with lights, working with sound, working with vibration. I'm taking your modern life into context. I'm not just sitting there hitting you with feathers and smoke. I know what it is to be an American. I know what it is to live under these pressures, these expectations, and these demands. That shaman in Peru or Brazil doesn't really know that. I'm an American shaman. I'm a modern shaman. I'm gonna use everything that's within my grasp to work for you.
Yeah, I would have to say that the church that I grew up in was a religious cult.
So how you feeling today, Kevin?
Well, nervous as fuck. Growing up in the church, you didn't really get to decide who you were or form who you were, what you wanted to be, where you wanted to go, what path that you wanted to lead in your life. One of the difficult things about leaving the church was losing a lot of relationships between whether it's friends, family. It kind of makes you feel a little lost. Been married for almost 13 years. We have 4 kids. This journey is about being a better person, a better father to my children. I feel like it's important to know who I am and what I want to be, where I want to go, so I can help them figure that out for themselves.
After I was date raped, it was really hard for me to have any form of relationship whatsoever. I tried to commit suicide twice. I didn't really realize what was happening at the time. For the first 3 years of dealing with it, I just drank. I drank almost every night. It's really hard for me to even want to go out of the house. And every time I go out in public, I think about it and I think, you know, what if it happens? What if it happens again? I hope that when I drink the ayahuasca, I can find some self-love. I want to be able to love all parts of me, the bad and the good.
The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to be collecting car keys and cell phones. Thank you. We just like making sure that if somebody freaks out, we don't want them trying to take off driving, so that's why we take the car keys. All right, are you all ready to go check out where you're going to be staying for the next couple of days? Awesome. We take their cell phones because we don't want them distracted. You're coming to work on something within you, and nothing in a cell phone is going to help that. If you all would like to find your beds and go ahead and get them made, get settled, changed into some comfy clothes. For this ceremony, we have Kevin coming from North Carolina, and we have Danielle coming from Ohio. Tlawil, instead of apprenticing in this ceremony, is going to be participating.
Hello. Nice seeing a beautiful group. Tlawil, it's awful nice to see you on this side of the table. This is how we met. We wanted you to be able to have your first ceremony since you've had that wonderful little papoose.
I have become a mother, and it's been the most amazing experience. But being pregnant was definitely not what I thought it was. And I gotta say, I appreciate that I watched Kim Kardashian through her pregnancy, because she at some point said, like, this is horrible, this is not what everybody paints it, you know? Like, everybody says these wonderful things. I went fucking crazy, like insane. Those hormonal shifts, like 1 minute you're happy, 1 minute you're crying, another minute you're like angry as fuck. So in regards to ayahuasca, I have asked her, okay, teach me the tools that I need to heal myself.
Tlawil has a lot of experience, but she's among your group tonight. She's got good energy, and she'll help stabilize your energy. We got a new member down here at the end of the table named Walter, filling in for Tlawil tonight. He's apprenticing as a medicine person. I decided to dedicate this ceremony to Tlawil because she just had a baby. It was my way of telling her thank you for her service up to this point, but it's also an observation of Tlawil to see how she handles herself. You know, I want to see if she's going to put the group's needs over her individual desires. Tonight, we're not pushing you off a cliff. We're going to take our time. We're going to slowly and incrementally allow you to submerge into the medicine. You'll get your first full cup, and then it'll be about 30 minutes, you'll get your second cup. Then after that, we're going to listen to you.
If you all are not really feeling it, please, please, please communicate with me. Let me know what's going on with you so that we can get you where you need to go.
When I drink the ayahuasca, I'm kind of afraid that it will change me for the worst, or that something bad will happen, or that I will have hallucinations or relive the past trauma.
You have a lot of energy.
I do.
You feel it,
I
don't
can
you?
feel it.
Oh, it'll increase as she drinks. You'll also feel mine. If I drink enough, I'll enter your journey.
Come on. I feel like a ball of nerves right now, like stomach's in knots, not being in control of where my mind goes, having to face inner demons. That's probably what I fear the most.
Ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic tea made with plants from the Amazon, and it is the strongest psychedelic known to man. But this isn't like LSD. Ayahuasca is a portal to your inner self, your subconscious. And through that portal, you're going to meet a goddess we call Mother Aya. When your journey first takes off, you may feel euphoria until, boom, the spike hits and the purge begins. You may laugh, you may cry, and you may do both at the same time. You may puke or shit. But each of those purges are a physical manifestation of an emotional release. That's when you truly find healing.
Felt it working throughout my whole body. my chest, my throat. It just felt like I had something inside of me that had to come out. I tried to hold it back and fight the nausea, but it was coming out. After the first cup of Aya, I could start feeling it, just kind of a warmness, comfort. She showed me all kinds of shapes, designs. You saw elephants. There was a lot of purple, like purple went from the toes all the way up to out the trunk. So you saw eagles and hawks flying through the sky, like you see a trail from an airplane. It was rainbows, you know, kind of coming out of the feathers behind them. I don't know what the message was behind that yet. After I got that feeling, it immediately went to the place where I was being held down, like your entire body is pressed down. It's like I was wrapped up by what seems like a snake. That's when she started bringing up every bad feeling that I've ever experienced. And one feeling would come up and I would be engulfed in it. Mother I had pushed me to my absolute limit, to the point where I was ready to give up. I couldn't do it anymore. And then Steve appeared. It was like he was checking in. It's like he popped in to make sure I was okay, to help bleed any of the negativity off of me if I needed it. And at that moment, she let the pressure off. She released me.
The air is sizzling with energy. My job as a shaman and my team's job as shamanistas and medicine people is to manage that energy. It's no different than a bank robbery. When you walk in and announce you're robbing the bank, the air sizzles. You gotta know when to nudge them back into the journey, nudge them back into that pain, nudge them back into that emotion that they've been avoiding their whole fucking life. Now, when I entered Kevin's journey, he was that close to losing it. And that's why I went into his journey and I asked Mother Aya to give him a break. And she did.
So what do you think of your first night of this?
Oh, I love it. I've been asked, is ayahuasca dangerous? Yes, in the wrong hands it is. But when you have experienced medicine people, it's awesome to be a part of it and be able to learn from them. They respect the medicine. They also respect the individuals that come and partake in the ceremony. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of.
How are you feeling over here, sweetie?
Like, I keep hearing that I need to just, like, let go. But I guess I'm scared.
And that's okay. She's not going to give you more than you can handle. She may test your boundaries of comfort, but she knows what you can handle and what you can't. You know, sometimes people who have been through a lot of pain and a lot of trauma, a lot of times she'll approach them very nurturingly, very lovingly, very calmly, you know, because she knows that you have to trust her for her to be able to help you.
Once the ayahuasca actually hit, my body got really heavy, and all of that anxiety and all of that fear just like went away. When I was 14 years old, I was friends with this guy, and we had a lot of fun. He was one of my best friends at the time. I could tell him anything. He invited me to a party one night, and I had never been to a party before. When I got there, he handed me and my best friend at the time a beer. And after that, I don't remember anything. Everything's kind of like a blur. I remember feeling like I couldn't move and feeling like I didn't know what was happening to my body. And I remember him being on top of me and telling me that he wasn't raping me. I had been taken advantage of by someone that I trusted and someone that I didn't think would do that to me. It was really hard for me because I didn't know if I could tell anyone or if I should tell anyone. He took that trust that I had in people away from me. I would like to, be able to get close to people and find forgiveness and find peace of mind.
My very first experience with ayahuasca was in Puerto Rico with my dad. He's been doing this for more than 40 years. So him being the one leading my very first ayahuasca ceremony was without words. My visuals were like cats. They had a suit and with very sharp teeth. They were telling me, come with us. And I'm like, no. They bothered me just trying to scare me until I got rid of my fear. Once I did that, went away.
When it comes to being an apprentice, we have quite a few different roles. We're the ones that put Palo Santo and sage in the air because it's a really grounding scent for people. There's cleanup that has to be done because, yes, this is a medicine that's going to make people puke, crap themselves. Making sure nobody's flipping out just because something's too much for them. Pretty much a jack of all trades, really. Tlawil wanted to go outside, and we're not going to tell her no because she's an experienced member and everything. So I was just sitting out there, just kind of keeping an eye on her, making sure she didn't fall.
My body's still recovering, so I need to have a lot of comfort. Otherwise, I feel sore.
Tlawil, we're going to need to start moving everything back inside.
She's so happy.
I know, but you're going to have to move back inside for the rest of the evening.
Then I'm not going, man.
You're leading the group away somewhere I don't want.
I'm not going anywhere. This is like as far as I'm going. I will go inside when I'm ready, but I can't just feel like I'm restricted.
I understand, but who's the shaman? And this is how we do everybody.
You teach. We're all around shamans.
Really? I'm just asking you, please, just
Yeah.
listen to me.
I'm good.
But I need them to go in there too.
But they
Okay.
can go in there.
And we're a part of the group. Yes?
And the group came here.
You don't understand, Tlawil, and it's okay. We'll talk tomorrow.
See, like, you don't want to be so stressed out like that when you're on a journey. That's just so messed up.
This is their first night. How do you know PTSD don't jump off and one of them just take off? And we're out here near lakes, rivers, hills, holes. Lots of danger here. And that's another reason we try to keep them inside. And she knows this. She knows it at the bottom of her heart. That's how others have died in ceremony. Not from the ayahuasca, but from falling, hitting their head on concrete. This is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing, oh, the plants feel good. I'm seeing people that can fall and crack their skull.
She broke out her rattle and wanted to, sit there and shake it. And I understand that's how she journeys. But Tlawil also knows that we don't do that in our ceremonies because it is disruptive to people who come. I wasn't real happy about it. And it seemed like it was being done somewhat out of spite.
I had been so happy the night before that it was kind of saddening to wake up and like not feel that happiness and not feel like that warm blanket. I can't even explain how it felt to focus on myself for once because I've never done that. And I didn't realize that I had never done that until last night. So I'm gonna try to continue to heal myself and just be.
The negative feelings, the anxiety, the depression, they've all been coming up today, all day long. Hey.
I bet you're tired.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I feel like I went through every bad experience I've ever had.
It's just a lot to deal with, and you don't really deal with your emotions, so
No.
yeah. Just the way your family is with kind of shutting you out, it makes things more difficult.
Yeah. We grew up in a very strict church environment. You were told what to do, when to do it. There was no TV, no associating with outsiders. They also believed that we were the only ones chosen to go to heaven and everyone else was going to hell. And that's something I really had a hard time wrapping my mind around. I just got to a point where I was done and I wanted to experience other things. Once we quit going to the church, it made things awkward. I'm nowhere near as close to my parents as I used to be.
What's making you emotional right now?
Just the thought of them.
All right, we're gathered here because of the disruption in our ceremony last night by Tlawil. Last night I didn't address it because, of course, as you all know, the group is always more important than the individual. But I cannot allow that, in my mind, to go on again tonight because we must be focused on the 3 individuals who came to work with us. I propose that one, she's not going to work in the ceremony.
Yeah, maybe some reflection. Like, I mean, she does great with people, but I don't know that she's at a place right now where I would be comfortable with her leading a group.
What she's got to understand is a lot of it's up to Tlawil, you know, and she may get mad and storm out and give me the big old bird, and if she does, that's up to her. You know, I love Tlawil. Like I said, I think she has a lot of talents, but what I seen last night was a very egotistical, self-centered little brat.
By all means, if you wanted to let her go. I was actually pretty shocked with Tlawil talking back to Steve because I figured with being an apprentice and everything and with him being the chief shaman, you would kind of listen to someone that's your chief shaman, but apparently she wasn't wanting to have any of it, and just the way she was going about it just seemed very disrespectful. What we really wanted was for her to come back inside because with her being an experienced member and everything, she should know that whenever people in a ceremony start doing something, some others are going to want to do the same thing that they're doing, and we wouldn't want someone getting hurt that's inexperienced being outside for whatever reason. Again, spiders, snakes, there could have been a number of things that could have crawled out, and just she wanted to get very argumentative about it.
But that's where I'm at. Are we in agreement?
Yes, sir.
As a family? Mother Aya shined a light on Tlawil's heart where I was concerned. She was being her true self on what she felt about me, and she felt she was above me. And that's where I can't allow that kind of thinking to take off with this powerful of a substance in her hand. She's an apprentice. She's not in charge. And she needs to learn humility. To be a good leader, you got to be a great follower. Well, Tlawil, I need to talk to you about last night. You and I were in some pretty strong conflict.
Were we?
Yes, we were. And I can't have that in my ceremony tonight. And I can't have any chance of that in my ceremony tonight.
Sounds good.
I am the chief shaman.
I respect, whatever you decide.
I understand,
know
but last
that
night there was a lot of disrespect shown.
I'm me, you know, and I feel like I'm now being also respected for who I am because you're not allowing me to be me.
No, I'm allowing you to be my apprentice.
Dude, I'm drinking ayahuasca.
So am I.
I'm also feeling and allowing myself be through the journey, and you're restricting me from being.
And as a medicine person, you're always a medicine person, whether you're journeying or not.
Yeah,
and the group comes
exactly.
first.
Yeah.
And I was moving you inside for the safety of the group.
But the group is fine.
As you're a medicine person,
I
that's not up for you to
apologize.
decide. You're an apprentice. You're not a shaman. That's not up to you to decide what goes on in my
it's
group.
not up to you either.
Yes, it is. It's my church.
I can't be distracted in my ceremony, otherwise it'll get dangerous. I never told her to go out there and make a bed outside. What if, while I was distracted dealing with her defiance, somebody choked on their vomit because I'm dealing with a medicine person apprentice who's trying to run the show? Then is it gonna be hee and ha? Is saying I'm sorry gonna cover it? No, it doesn't.
And we're done.
You're done.
We're done. I got a ceremony to run. I need you to leave.
Okay, sounds good, Steve. That sucks, dude. As a medicine person, that really sucks from your part to take this type of approaches.
What would you have
are
done?
being
What would
fine.
your dad have done if you'd acted like that in his ceremony?
I mean, I don't do that.
But you did it to
Because
me.
I know.
And that's why you got to leave.
Sounds good.
Walter and Teri are going to help you pack your stuff and go ahead and take your stuff to your car, and we'll go from there.
I'm different, you know, like, I'm just different. I'm a free spirit, a free soul, and they seem to be very strict into their ways, and this is how we do it, this is how it has worked, so we're never gonna get out of that. And to me, I see more opportunity for things from my life experiences and where I have grown, so to me, it's very restricting. And me working that way is not letting me be fully, you know, at my potential.
Tlawil has been with us for a while. We have spent a lot of time talking with her, working with her. For her to disrespect Steve in the way that she did, that was very disheartening. I was absolutely disappointed. Her disrespect was not just towards Steve and the group, but also, you know, to the medicine, and that's when it gets very dangerous.
I really love Tlawil, I do. Tlawil's heart is in a good place. It's her ego that got blown up. It's her immaturity that got in the driver's seat. But my priorities first and foremost is the safety of the group that I'm working with, and nothing comes before that.
I would like to continue, you know, working with people, regardless if it's here or on my own. I'm not gonna stop. You know, my connection with Aya is my connection with Aya, regardless of who provides it.
The second night when we're taking them to darker waters, we're taking them to deeper waters, if you will, there's only one answer: submit. Total submission. And if you don't, you're going to get your ass whipped.
Thank you so much for your trust, and I'm going to ask you again to trust us again tonight. We're going deeper, bruised stronger. Could be coming a little bit faster at you. And whatever comes, remember, she's not going to give you any more than you can handle. Now then, Tlawil is not with us tonight because she had some family issues come up and she had to go home. So we're just rolling without her, but her heart and her mind is with us, I guarantee it, and her spirit.
Steve didn't tell the group what exactly had happened with Tlawil because that would just be dragging that energy into the ceremony, and that's not the goal.
Something was very different about starting a ceremony. The whole day I had been dealing with emotion after emotion. Everything I experienced from ceremony 1 just kept welling back up inside of me. And it just felt like by the end of the day, right before the ceremony started, it felt like everything was just clawing to get out.
Kevin is here because he lost his identity because he was in a cult with his family. But when he broke out of that, he was an empty shell of himself. And to leave that behind had to be psychologically torturous to come to terms with. They were going to keep him safe and secure and walled off from all the evils of the world. It sounds like prison, don't it? People who gather with you around a fire are normally friends and family and community. And so it allows us to open up. So I love having the chats by the fire. I love burning things into the fire because it symbolizes letting things go, turning it unto the universe, giving it to God. Whatever verbiage you want to put on it, it's about letting it go.
Tell me about the church that you were involved in.
It was a large congregation. There's quite a few people. You know, we weren't allowed to associate with people outside the church. You didn't date outside the church. Your friends weren't inside the church. It was a closed
Society. How's your life been since you quit?
There's been a lot of strain on family.
Right.
Because both of our families still attend. A lot of the friends that we used to associate with, you know, friends growing up, they're extremely distant now.
Sounds like your whole world that you had to shift when you left it.
Yeah.
Would probably call the church that you described as it was when you were a child as a cult.
Mm-hmm.
But to you, it was a church. It was your community. So if you wouldn't mind, just take this right here, and then I'd like you, like I just did it, what you didn't like and what you liked, because nothing's all bad. Take your time. We're in no hurry.
I knew it was going to be easy for him to write what he didn't like, but I wanted him to think what he liked about it, because that's what we had to grieve. That's what was really symbolic about letting this go. See, it's easy to let go of shit you don't like. It's hard to let go of stuff that you love.
I think that'll cover it.
Okay, good deal, good deal. I want you to put it in that fire, and we're going to give it to the universe. We're going to let these things go through this ayahuasca ceremony, and you're going to give it over to Mother Aya. And you're going to be amazed at what she can pull together in situations like this. And so whenever you're ready, just please put it into the fire.
I wrote loss of control, loss of freedom on the negatives. On the positives, it was friends, family, community. Placing the piece of paper on the fire and watching it burn was part of the weight being lifted off my shoulders. I felt the ayahuasca going through my body. It felt like there was a filter. My whole body was being sifted from head to toe. It was just catching all the negativity, all the bad energy, and pulling it out. The purge felt beautiful. There's no other way to describe it. I don't like throwing up, but that wasn't throwing up. That was totally different. It's her way of pulling all the bad out of you. It turned all of my anxiety, all of my anger, all of my fear into a physical form. Instead of just feeling it exiting your body, you can see it come out.
With Danielle, I chose to use the tent, create a symbolic womb, a symbolic safe space. I wanted to take her all the way back to the beginning when she was with her mother's heartbeat and move forward from there. I chose a blue light for Danielle in the tent tonight for one reason. She's a victim of sexual assault, and blue subconsciously represents to us protection and security. She needs to be able to be secure in her own decisions. And that's what I want to anchor home with that blue light, is the security that she feels within that womb of that tent.
I understand you had a friend who violated your trust. And I assume you gave him a lot of trust.
I could tell him anything, and he wouldn't judge me, and we could talk about anything.
You gave him so much trust that right now you question yourself when you did absolutely nothing wrong but trust a friend who did not give you the proper respect you deserved for whatever reason he chose to do that. But that was not your fault at all. And can I ask you this? Are you ever at a place that you can truly forgive him and let it go?
I think that I've forgiven him. I think that I've kind of excused it almost. So,
Where you're at in forgiving yourself for these things happening. Because I don't care how much you tell yourself, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. Anybody who has ever been treated in that manner carries some sense of guilt. And I'm just curious, have you forgiven yourself for it?
I don't think so.
You don't have to just forgive them, you have to forgive you. And you have to accept that it was something that happened, that was beyond your control. And you have to say, you know what, I'm sick of this event ruining my life.
Tell me his name.
Kenneth?
Kenneth.
I had never actually said his name out loud, and no one had ever asked me that, so I was really caught off guard by it, and I didn't really know how to answer or what to do. But saying his name actually gave it less power, and that was incredible. I didn't realize that part of all the burden I was carrying and part of all the pain wasn't me not forgiving him, it was me not forgiving myself.
People don't understand it's not always going to be, these big fluffy cotton candy clouds and unicorns and fairies. It's not always beautiful and pretty. Sometimes it gets to be some ugly shit, but it's because we've got some ugly shit in us that needs to be dealt with and gotten out.
Once Mother Aya took hold of me, it was this big, complete release. It went from a sad cry to a healing cry, and to I wanted to get that out. I needed to just be able to release all of the anger and resentment that I had towards myself and toward the situation. I feel alive now, and I feel like I actually have a life worth living, whereas before, I didn't really feel that way. I closed my eyes. I saw, at first it was a yellow blanket, and it was in waves, it would move in waves. And for each wave, you saw a different pattern. So there were red lines and green lines and red triangles and green triangles, and it blanketed the whole universe. It was Mother Aya, and she was this spindle shape. And she had all of these threads that went to everything in the universe and touched everything in the universe. I realized that she was in everything, and it was just so calming and so surreal. After being in the tent, I did find that unconditional love and that feeling of unconditional love, and I was the happiest I'd ever been. And when I interacted with her, it was she wouldn't let me face anything bad because she wanted me to feel all the good things.
Sounds like you're starting your garden of contentment.
Yeah.
And that's a place that only you reside. And that's the place you go to make all your decisions in your life, that garden of contentment. You see, I learned in prison in the hard way that I can be content in an unhappy situation.
Right.
Happiness comes and goes, and you learn to just flow with the hills and valleys, no different than your journey. You are a strong woman. You're a goddess.
Thank you.
The one thing I really wanted for you was, even though, all these things have happened and you felt like you had been broken, what I wanted most for you was to realize you hadn't been. And it sounds like you got that.
Yeah.
And I think that is just absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
When I first got here, I feel like my self-worth was really low, but after I drank the ayahuasca, I feel like I can do anything, and I don't need anyone else's approval or anyone else's validation. I was living in a constant state of fear, and I was always having anxiety and looking over my shoulder. I feel like I have a different vibe about me now, and I feel like I can do more things and get out of the house, and I don't have to be this hermit. Now I feel like I'm free, and I feel like I can just be happy, and I can just be me.
Kevin, please have a seat.
All right.
Thank you. Well, Kevin, you've had a couple days here. I feel you're on your path, that you've taken the hardest step, and that's that first one, out of the muck.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on the church. As we said, it would probably be called a cult. How do you feel now, looking back on it, after we did that exercise with the paper and set it on fire?
I just let everything go. Don't hold anything against anybody. It just is what it is.
There you go.
Learn from your experience and move on.
Just is.
The only thing that I can say to family, to friends that I've kind of lost touch with is I'm still the same person, but a different person at the same time. Man, one day I would hope to move on, to be able to, rekindle the relationships, to not have a wedge between us.
Now, you had a strong purge last night as well.
Yeah, it was very strong.
Afterwards, how did it feel?
Felt 50 pounds lighter. I felt like I was light as a feather.
Really? It's not like vomiting, is it?
No, it's not.
A lot of people equate it, and this is the funny part that I have found about ayahuasca after seeing thousands of ceremonies. There's no smell.
No, there's not.
We're in a room with no ventilation, and there's no smell or anything. It's like ayahuasca takes care of itself. But man, what comes up in a purge, if you purge that way, is more than just what's in your stomach. It's what's in your heart. It's all that negativity. It's like they're wringing it out of every fiber of you.
It was just giving it a physical form so you could see it coming out instead of feeling it.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Man, give me a hug. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Thank you. Hey, there we are. Come on up, come on up. Y'all have been a pleasure to work with, and we look forward to interacting with you more in the future.
Coming to iQuest, I was feeling the anger, I was feeling the depression, the anxiety, and it was trying to take control of me. And leaving iQuest after the ceremonies, I'm able to let go of those things. We can't change what's happened, we can only change what happens in the future. Come here, you.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself, man.
I will. Ayahuasca is there to help you when you need it, but it's not there to control you. She is unconditional love and unconditional care. Mother Aya really is everything.
Ayahuasca is a mother. She's there for you. She will be there and help you through all of your baggage, all of your emotions. But you have to seek her out. She's not going to force you to take the journey.
Right now, we have to nurture ayahuasca in America. I know some of you look at me and go, what the fuck is the world coming to? When a convicted felon, a bank robber, can sit in front of me and go, dude, do this hallucinogen with me. How in the hell did this happen amid a war on drugs? Well, I'll tell you how it happened. It was the power of a lot of people who looked a lot of time behind bars, dead in the eye, and said, fuck you. Violence ain't the answer. Revolution ain't the answer. Evolution is. And Mother Aya is leading that charge. And she is here in America. The Jaguar is here. To be honest with you, I consider this right here to be the Amazon of America. Right here in the state of Kentucky, in this forest, I feel like I'm the father of the forest in the Amazon of America. That's exactly how I feel every time I walk through the woods of this dark and bloody ground.
I got a lot of benefits coming out of it. It was a life-changing or mind-changing experience.
I'm completely off my medication for depression and anxiety. I definitely feel like I love myself so much more.